Kevin Safner is out, and John Rinaldo is in at the stage at Karma. Big shake-up at that venue. Big news breaking in the local music scene, and the social webs are lighting up. People are outraged or thrilled. Everybody's got such extreme emotions, and I guarantee you, almost none of them know both John Rinaldo and Kevin Safner. People are going crazy. It's music Armageddon here in Pittsburgh. The scene is falling apart. People are going nuts. I saw this move happening not so long ago, and let me first say that I'm disappointed for Kevin that it didn't work out, and I'm happy for John Rinaldo. Both great people, both very competent people in what they do. So let's not pretend like one person's a disaster and the other one isn't. They're both great guys, and whether you're happy or upset about things not working out with Kevin Safner at the stage at Karma, don't take it out on John. John's a good guy. We're going to talk with him in a little bit. But I could see this coming. I could see that there was trouble in paradise at that venue, based on a Facebook post that I had seen not too long ago from George Hyde III, who's a phenomenal jazz drummer in Pittsburgh. His Facebook status said, "Hey friends and family, some disappointing news today as I found out that the owners of Sound City Grill have decided to cancel my weekly session on Sunday evenings at their establishment. I want to first and foremost thank every person who came out to support my session the last few months at Sound City Grill and before that the stage at Karma. The session is canceled tonight and all subsequent Sundays from here on out. However, I think the session deserves a new home and by no means should die with the short-sightedness of Sound City Grill and the stage at Karma. Our scene deserves to have a great weekly session. I'd also like to thank Kevin Safner," he continues, "for giving us the opportunity the last few months. This decision was not his." And that really is the key word or the key phrase in that Facebook statement is the decision was not his. That means that management was unhappy with some of the decisions Kevin was making, or they decided to go above him to make this decision. And with that post, I could see the writing on the wall. This is River Talk. I am Brian Crawford. This is the River's Edge Radio Network, Pittsburgh's voice for local music. And this River Talk is the preeminent talk show on the local scene. What is going on? What is happening? If it's breaking in the scene, it's being talked about right here on the River's Edge. And the one man who may know more about what's going on with this whole stage at Karma scene than anyone is John Rinaldo. We're going to talk to him in a minute, but we do want to hear your thoughts on the Facebook Live page or on Twitter at RiverTalkPGH. And after the fact, if you want to comment, you can also do so via the text line. That is 412-4072-PGH, 412-407-2744, and we will get back to you there. The reason why I say after the fact is we had some technical difficulties with the audio during the show, so I am re-recording this intro for you, and we had a really, really great discussion with John Rinaldo. He is obviously on the inside. He's dealing with the situation, and we had a chance to talk with him about what he plans to bring to the stage of Karma, and he kind of explains how everything came to be, and we have that conversation right now. We cut into the conversation about a minute into my interview with him over the phone, so we're going to start you off right there, right here on River Talk on the River's Edge Radio Network.
It was 2 weeks' notice, and I was already in there. I'd already booked a bunch of national shows, some of which are coming up this that I already played, like I mentioned. And so that's when I approached the owner. I said, "Hey, do you want me to handle the booking for the room? Because I can, and we can get more national acts in here, leave the local situation the same way it is, just kind of maybe fine-tune a little bit, and then move forward with the club."
So in other words, the club
that's kind of where we stand now.
They're not kicking out local music altogether, then they're just adding your talents to the mix.
Yeah, right. And then, like I said, the nationals were already in there to begin with. In fact, Kevin went so far as to start reaching out to my competitors and allow them in the room, like Dusky Entertainment, Bay Area Productions, and that was kind of surprising because I was working very, very hard to try to, push the room to, nationally on the, on the side that I have to deal with, and national booking agents for these national concerts, and next thing you know, he's letting everybody in the room, and so that was a little bit disappointing. So he was in a way setting it up to start having more nationals in there to begin with. I don't know if anyone really knows that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the local side of it, to my knowledge, is not going to change. The schedule that is, in place right now is staying. I know moving forward that they just want to make sure that the local shows that are booked in there, have two things happening for them. A, that the artists are actually able to afford the rental fee, which is very, very low.
Mm-hmm.
And B, that they are able to market and promote and, basically can get bodies in the club.
So
I think that was probably one that, I'm sorry, go ahead.
This isn't local music Armageddon then?
I'm sorry?
This isn't local
what?
This isn't local music Armageddon then, basically, is what you're saying.
No, not at all. And that's why I don't understand why everyone's all freaking out and all up in arms about it. On social media. I mean, it was just, I'd reached out to Scott Mervis to let him know about this change that was happening there. And then next thing you know, this article's coming out, which is, to be fair to him, I knew something was going to happen. I just didn't know it was going to happen so quickly. And then I think everybody just kind of panicked and freaked out. And I was kind of reading these posts on Facebook, and I have to pay attention to those things. I'm like, why is everyone freaking out about this? And it just was getting a little out of control. And I chimed in here and there to kind of reassure people everything was fine, and it is. And that's just really where we stand right now. I mean, my goal now is to book nationals in that club that makes sense. And the locals are obviously welcome, and we're working out things with the owners to see if they want me to take over this local scenario directly, or if we're gonna have the locals go to them.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to work all that out. But the locals are not being shut out by any means. So
when you bring in a national act, are there opportunities sometimes for local bands to jump on to the bill and support local artists in that way as well?
Oh yeah, most definitely. We always want the local openers on the national shows if we're able to add them. It gives those artists, those local artists, massive exposure. They're playing in front of a national act. They're playing in front of maybe a different audience that they different than their own. And there's just a lot of really positive things that could come out of it.
Now, do you worry about competition with some of the other venues that bring in national acts in the South Side, such as the Rex Theater and Club Cafe and venues like that?
Not really. I mean, I've been doing this for so long, and I was already competing then with Diesel. I think this actually opens more of an opportunity for me in specific genres. More jam-oriented groove, AAA acts. You might hear WYP. And maybe other smaller artists that fill other genres that I might not have been able to do over this other club, because the capacity there is 700. So, of course, there's competition. It's been very, very competitive since I've come back into this. In fact, I've kind of scratched my head and go, how can these guys do so many national shows? Where are the people supporting this? Or are these shows happening and there's 10 people going to these shows? I see them every single night. There's a show. I'm like, who is the kind of deep pockets to be able to support it? So,
especially because these other venues aren't disappearing. We've got Smalls here where we broadcast out of here with the River's Edge. You've got Stage AE. You've got venues all across the city, and they're not going away. The Thunderbird's coming back bigger than ever, and I'm sure they'll be able to get some smaller national acts in there.
Right. But I mean, of course, going back to what you're asking your question, of course, there's always going to be competition. I'm not really worried about the other guys. In fact, I think that they might be a little more nervous because now there's another room that they'll be competing with. And, especially the genres that maybe I had not gone after in the past. So, that's just being able to buy smart, bring the right bands in, the people in this market want to see too. I mean, that's going back to what I was also saying. If there's so many shows, I'm looking at most of these bands, I'm like, is there an audience for some of these groups, or are they just, everybody's competing so much where, I have to have this show or I have to have that show. And they're not paying attention 100% as to what they're booking per se. That's just the way that's just from my viewpoint of it. But I could be wrong. I mean, but it just seems like there's more live music on the national side than there ever was in the past. I mean, I don't think anybody can disagree with that.
Oh, I completely disagree. The music scene's dead here across all levels, as you know. But you're proving us wrong here at the stage of Karma. John, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm glad to get you on here. I just wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of express what you're doing there and let people know from your side what's going on and kind of get the facts as far as what you're doing at the stage of Karma and kind of maybe calm the waters, let people know that it's not music Armageddon.
I mean, no, there's nothing crazy going on. The world's not exploding in this place. I mean, the locals, still need to reach out to the club. They want to reach out to me directly. They can, and hopefully that'll ease some people's minds. And moving forward, we're looking forward to working with everybody.
Awesome. Thank you, John. That's John Rinaldo. He's doing all of the national booking at the stage at Karma. I'm Brian Crawford. This is the River's Edge Radio Network. And music, the local music scene, if you can mute that channel, the local music scene is not dead here in Pittsburgh. It's live, it's thriving, especially here in Millvale. We have 200 bands coming to Millvale on May 11th and May 12th for the Millvale Music Festival, one of which is the Redlines, who I have right here to my right. We've got an action-packed first half of the show. It's going to be guest after guest, and then we're going to roll into the weird news, the judging segment, where we're doing things a little bit different this week. We're taking your topics, and I will judge them in a rapid judgment fashion, as I do every week. That's going to be coming up a little bit later. We also want to hear your thoughts, 412-407-2PGH, your thoughts on the changes going on at the stage at Karma, and what your thoughts are if you're panicked, if you think the sky is falling, if you're ducking for cover under a desk from the fallout of Music-geddon here in Pittsburgh, please call us, tweet me at RiverTalkPGH, and we will take your concerns, and I, Brian Crawford, Pittsburgh's moral compass, will address them. But we've got the Redlines here in studio. I'm excited to see you guys play. You're going to be playing at the second Millvale Music Festival, and I'm excited because, at least with you, Brian, you've done some promotion for the event as well, which was really, really fun. I was able to take part in that, which was great, with the backseat guitar in the car, which was really, really cool. So thank you so much for putting that together.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah. So you guys are playing at the Millvale Music Festival. What are your expectations?
They're huge.
Huge crowds. A sea of people throughout all of Millvale. And a lot of traffic too.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully there's not too much traffic because you can always take a Z trip in, and you've got the code, which we'll be releasing on the Millvale Music Minute coming up in the coming weeks.
It looks like there's a great plan for traffic and parking and everything. So I'm really impressed with how well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this year we're adding bike racks as well from Bike Pittsburgh, which you'll be able to access near the front part of town. I don't know if it's really the front. To me, it feels like the front by the river. It's almost like you're entering the front of town, as if this was a giant house. That would be the front door, right. And I feel like going out Babcock Boulevard towards that direction is almost the back door of Millvale. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I don't know Millvale that much, but I've been through that way by like Good Time Bar.
Yeah.
And
doesn't that feel like the back door, like you're coming in through the back door of the house?
I would say so. If I had to, yeah.
I'll go with that.
So you guys are playing towards the back door of the house, which is cool. That's where all the fun happens.
Tony likes it in the back.
The back door, man.
But think about it. The back door, that's where all the fun stuff happens, the games and all the fun. And we are hoping to put some games out there for people to play.
I hope you do too.
In front of the stage. So I think that would be cool. Yeah. So tell me about you guys. How have you come to be? Tell me about the Redlines. Who are the Redlines?
The Redlines are
Brian and Tony here.
Yes, Brian Cease, myself. I sing and play rhythm guitar for the most part.
And I'm Tony Vinsky. I play bass, and they don't let me sing.
Oh, that's not true. You just don't do it. He's been doing it more, and he's been getting better at it. He's got a very gravelly Matt Freeman rancid style voice,
which doesn't really doesn't really fit in with the type of music we play.
No, but it works every once in a while. But not with us today is Jason Lizzie, our lead guitar player, and Mark Ciora, our new drummer. About a year now. We still call him new, I guess, but he's
new to you.
He's a Redline.
Yeah.
and we came to be.
I guess officially 2013, but we had been jamming a couple years before that.
Yeah, actually, Redlines came to be after I stopped the current band that we were in at the time, which was called The Fire Shot, which is a reggae ska thing.
Oh, wow.
Which
So you guys have
he was
gone in a
part of it.
completely different direction then.
Yeah,
with this.
I had been just listening to a ton of different stuff and that I wanted to be active in, and I can only do one band at a time. I have a busy life, so it's like I can't do a side project type thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, if I do this, I want to do it this way and have it be a rock and roll band, but lots of different avenues that all make sense so I don't get bored. Not bored, but so I don't get antsy, I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. No, I get that. So I really, really enjoy going to museums, and being that I work a full-time overnight job, I'm actually working around 48 to 60 hours a week, and then I have to do all of the stuff here at the station and then the music festival. It was impossible to just go for fun, so I turned it into a podcast. So I kind of understand where you're coming from. Yeah, you have to try to incorporate what you love into work in order to make it happen sometimes when you run a busy schedule. Yeah. So you guys are playing, let's see, it looks like 7 p.m. at the Bowerline Street stage, which is one of our bigger stages this year. So that's going to be a lot of fun. It's
I'm excited about the stage. We got friends that are on that stage with us as well. I want to participate in the festival in terms of taking the shuttle bus and going to different places. But then again, it's like, I want to be there a couple hours prior to see our friends, the Highland Brothers, then the Shiners play right after us.
It's gonna be awesome.
And I want to support the stage that we're playing on too. So it's like I'm conflicted. Do I leave? Do I not leave? What do I do?
Yeah, I want to actually see a band perform this year. That's kind of my goal.
Oh yeah.
Last year I saw one song the entire festival. Wow. And I was there before the festival started. I was there when the festival ended. Actually, your stage was a mini crisis last year. So we had all of these little mini crises that nobody realized happened. Yeah, right. And your stage was one of them because it was some sort of confusion between the music festival and the police department. And I blame us. We probably didn't do things the right way because the police in Millvale are 100% supportive of the festival. So they certainly wouldn't do anything to derail us. The police chief, Tim Komorowski, actually sits on the music festival committee as well. And last year he volunteered for us, so we didn't have to pay him. We had an extra officer that we didn't have to pay through the festival. Nice. So super supportive. So it was most likely miscommunication on our end, but we had marked off places where people weren't allowed to park, and we had shut that street down, but we didn't actually zone it as no parking. So they didn't put no parking signs up last year until midnight, the morning of the festival. Oh, no. And that's not enough time, it's not enough notice to give people in order to allow you to tow their vehicles if they don't move. So I'm sitting outside of the community center, which was our volunteer check-in spot, and I had bought this coffee for the volunteers to drink while they were waiting. And I see this giant truck drive by, and I just thought to myself, I bet you has something to do with the stage down at Bowerline Street. I don't know why, I just had a gut feeling in my gut that was that stage. So I decided to follow it. I get there, all of these cars are parked on Bowerline Street. Oh, no. Both sides of the street. There's not enough room for this guy to fit the stage on the street where it needed to go. I call the police. They come down here, get down there. They could not tow anyone because the signs were not put up in time. So luckily we were able to finagle it just into the right spot where literally part of the hatch that hooks onto the vehicle for the stage was sticking out into the road, but they were able to park the vehicle right in front of that hatch so that way nobody would hit it on their way down. But it literally was just inches away from that stage completely not existing for the first year in the Millvale Music Festival.
All the little things you got to think about when setting this up. It's crazy.
So this year we're on top of that. So I'm excited. So do you guys play a lot of festivals?
Not too many.
Maybe a couple every summer. Yeah.
Yeah, they were falling on holidays, which aren't good for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. That was one thing. They decided to do that last year with Rant and move it to the holiday.
Yeah, so we couldn't do it.
Man, that's...
But I mean, yeah, we've played Rant before. We played Deutschtown. We played Band Jam up in...
Band Jam Grassroots Festival in Slippery Rock.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's a pretty cool one.
We've done that for the last 3 years or so. We would like to get into the more, but it's just it's rough in the summer. You know, you got 4 adults, all with different schedules. Some have kids, and you know, married wives. Like, so it's you got to juggle.
I never understood why there would be I guess because I always grew up with all of these different family parties, so we would never go to a music festival on a holiday. I almost felt like it would be hard to get people to come out on a holiday.
I never understood it either. I mean, that seems like families do the holiday things and, you know, put the festival the week after, the week before, you know, but... Yeah, I guess it works out for certain scheduling, I guess.
Well, I think there's probably a certain age group, too, that maybe in your early to mid-20s that you kind of, you don't do the family thing for a little while. You know, you just graduated college or you're still in college and it just, you're not back. You left that family environment and you haven't gotten through those 5 years where you matured enough and you come back to it.
But as a festival organizer, and that's probably true, but as a festival organizer, I've always, whether it be with the music festival or with the Relay for Life beforehand when I did that at Cal U, my thought process was always, students don't have cash. You got to bring in the old people because they're the ones with the money. They're the ones with the union jobs and the income and the ability to spend money on the things that you need to keep the festival going or raise money for the Cancer Society. So my mindset was always to try to bring in everybody because with the festival, for example, if nobody comes and buys any alcohol, then nobody gets paid. So it's important that you have people that
drink up, everybody.
Yeah, drink up, please. So, we have great brands with the festival as well. I'm not going to give everybody a plug on the festival because this is not the festival show. but yeah, so I'm excited. So
watch some of the Backseat Guitar in the Car episodes because Brian gives a lot of plugs.
I do there.
Some of the beer ones.
Yes, because I was a representative of the festival there. And also the Millvale Music Minute. We go through every sponsor, every show. Oh, right. So you can definitely listen to all of the sponsors there as well. So who are you most excited to see at the festival? Or what are you most excited to experience?
I think just the festival in general.
Were you here last year?
No. But yeah, I just want to see the whole town just filled with people because when we did Deutschtown, we were kind of on the edge and stuck on the corner of Deutschtown, so we didn't get to really see a lot. But band wise, I don't know. Like I don't know. Like I said, if I'm going to stay at the stage or venture out.
Well, one area where go ahead.
Well, I was going to say I know one band that I definitely want to see, but I'm not going to be able to is the Slobberknockers because I think they're playing at 8, and we'll be just finishing up.
I think it pretty much get down there. I think it pretty much ended up that way. Like any of the bands, like we really want to see.
Yeah.
I'm just not going to be able to get to because they're either right before us, on the same time of us, or right after us.
Well, what's awesome is like you look at the schedule and you're like, that's just like a who's who of every local Pittsburgh band. It's like I want to see them. I want to see them. You know, I have seen them before, and these guys are awesome. It's just.
Yeah, we definitely try to work to try to make a good variety, have a good variety of bands as well. Last year we had a jazz stage. This year we have a hip-hop and electronic stage. So that's one thing that I'm really proud of with the festival, that we try to be diverse and bring in some
And I like
people.
how it's organized, too, with like all the bands that are on our stage are kind of similar music. So so if people like... You know,
if you like that style of music,
if they like that, just stick around there. And if you want to get adventurous, go to a different stage. But like, at least you're not like, okay, if you don't like metal or something, like if you're watching a band, then you're like, I'll stick around to the next band. All of a sudden, it's like something way too heavy for you.
And then you got to go somewhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
And you don't know if you go to this place, is it going to be something you like?
Yeah,
true. So that is true. Yeah, so that's one thing we definitely have tried to do with our festival, is try to gear it that way and match bands up.
I do want to get over to one of the youth stages.
Yes. Yeah, the young artist. We're calling it the young artist stage this year.
So I believe Wonderment, who did one of the Backseat Guitar in the Cars, I think their first.
They're going to be at the library stage.
On that stage, if I'm not incorrect. So if I'm early in the morning there, I hopefully get to.
Yeah, Wonderment is actually going to be the second band to perform at that stage. They are on at 1 p.m.
Okay, yeah. So. I think I'll try to go over and support them, and then I can get back to my stage and make sure I'm there for the Highland Brothers band.
Well, that's one thing I
want to see them.
Exciting about this festival. And you mentioned Deutschtown and being on the edge, and they do a great job at Deutschtown. But one advantage that we have, and this is probably the only time this has ever been spoken, Millvale has a geographical advantage over any other community when it comes to putting together a festival, because it's such a small square and everything is so close. Our furthest stage is from one end of the festival to the farthest end, which is out at the Good Time Bar, is closer than, I think, halfway across Deutschtown or Rant, for example.
I mean, you could still walk to Good Time Bar.
You could, yeah.
I mean,
and whereas a lot of these other festivals, even Rant, for example, yes, there's no major obstacles, but it's a very long hike to get from Hambones to Needs Hotel, for example. Mm-hmm. It's just such a long hike because everything is so linear, whereas with us, it's that square. Yeah. It's so quick to be able to get from place to place.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, just seeing the different venues. I mean, we played Good Time Bar before too, so that's gonna be a pretty cool stage to play there too. So like, just seeing the different places, even where you're sticking stages that you're like, oh, didn't think there'd be live music there, but hey, I mean, like, even where we're playing, that little side street is like, oh, that'd be pretty awesome to be playing there, and you're not blocking traffic or screwing up anything. It's like, but there's a stage right there.
Yeah, we're closing 2 streets this year. The street where you guys are at, Bowerline Street, which we did close last year, and then also Sedgwick Street, which is right in front of Panza Gallery. And we're actually going to be turning that into an arts festival this year. So there's going to be visual artists on both sides of the street.
That's awesome. Nice.
And there is going to be music there as well, but that's the first time that's closed. But again, that's not a major artery, and that's one thing that people do love about this festival is that no major arteries are closed during the event, because people... I lived on Grand Avenue until recently, and that's where Millvale Days is, and they closed that entire main thoroughway, and people hate it. It never bothered me, and I actually live on that street, but everybody else, all they would do is bitch and moan about Grant Avenue being closed. So we kind of took that under advisement when we mapped out our festival planning, and we decided to stay away from that.
Yeah, seems like a good call.
Yeah. So you guys are 7 p.m., and you're going to be at the Bowerline Street stage, which is right next to Sidelines and the Barking Shark. Both of those guys, I'll give them a plug. Both of them are sponsors of the music festival, so really great. And then the VFW, they're so supportive. They've had the festival information on their board for a while, so really, really great. And they're going to be a stage as well right next to you guys. So thank you so much, Brian, Tony, with the Redlines. I'd love to talk with you guys longer, but I know you guys got to run. Cool. So thanks you so much. Us. And we'll have to do this again sometime soon.
All right, cool.
All right. That is those are the Redlines. They are going to be performing at the Millvale Music Festival on May 12th, 7 p.m. at the Bowerline Street stage. I'm Brian Crawford, and up next, we've got the weird news right here on The River's Edge.
You are
in the waters of Pittsburgh in an attempt to destroy the city, but it can only be soothed with 3 weird stories. The first story has to deal with a selfie lawsuit. That's right, there's now a court case which has deemed what can be copyrighted as far as selfies go, because that's what we need to waste our court litigation on. And this one has to do with a certain creature that cannot copyright selfies, and that is a monkey. A monkey can no longer sue over copyright infringement. This is according to the Huffington Post. It says a monkey can't sue over copyright infringement of his selfies because he's not human and therefore has no standing to do so. A federal appeals court ruled on Monday. We must determine whether a monkey may sue humans, corporations, and companies for damages and injunctive relief arising from claims of copyright infringement, Judge Carlos Bay wrote in an opinion for the 9th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals. That's right, this went to the 9th Circuit Court of Appeals. This is what we're wasting our tax money on. We conclude that this monkey and all animals, since they are not human, lack statutory standing under the Copyright Act. The case involved a series of heart-melting snaps of Naruto, a grinning, crested macaque. In 2011, British nature photographer David Slatter set up a camera in the Indonesian forest, and the monkey caught himself on the camera. And PETA, the People for Ethical Treatment of Animals, are the ones that filed a lawsuit for the monkey, claiming that the monkey had copyright rights to the selfie. So, cuckoo, cuckoo. That's why people make fun of PETA. That's why people don't respect PETA. I'm all about treating animals ethically, but PETA, they're cuckoo.
See, I thought it was people just didn't respect them because they euthanized more animals than they save.
Oh, do they? I am not surprised about that. So that is story 1. Story 2 has to do with a new tactic to protect yourself in your home. And it doesn't have to do with the security system. It's not the Amazon security system that I plan to install in this studio to find out who is causing havoc and not putting settings back to where they are supposed to be. It's not that kind of security system. It's not an alarm system where people will call you in. No, it is a fake shadow boxing projection. That's right. Women in Japan claim that they are safer due to a fake shadow boxer. Single women in Japan. It says here, according to Reuters, that behind the apartment's curtain, a tough guy is boxing, throwing left and right hooks and jabs, and lunging forward enough to make any passing criminal think twice before breaking in. The image is nothing more than a projected shadow, but one of the Japanese apartment management company's hope is that it will help protect and reassure women who are living by themselves. Still in the prototype stage, man on the curtain uses a smartphone connected to a projector to throw a moving shadow of a man doing various energetic activities into a curtain. Customers can choose from a dozen different scenarios that show their man boxing, doing karate, and even swinging a baseball bat. So it's kind of like Halloween on steroids, in a way, I suppose.
That sounds like a signal to robbers to say, hey, this fake person is guarding someone who's unprotected. Come in here.
Yeah, once you figure it out, I imagine. And plus, it's like so weird.
You see five apartments in a row with the same dude throwing the same jabs, and you go, I got lunch for a week.
Yes.
Just that Second Amendment.
Yeah, it's a horrible. It's a dumb idea. Why don't you just get a dog? Is my question. They always say that dogs will. It's proven that dogs can help protect you. That people are less likely to rob you and steal from you if you are.
You have to take care of a dog, and dogs are expensive and time-consuming.
Dogs aren't that expensive. Plus, dogs are fluffy and lovable. I went to the brewery the other day, and they're dog-friendly, and I love it because I go there not only for the beer, but I also go there just to go around and pet different people's dogs. It's a wonderful thing.
That is the best. Well, that was always the best part of delivering pizzas, is seeing all the dogs at everyone's houses.
So you didn't have to worry about dogs attacking you when you were delivering pizzas?
I only had a dog attack me once, and I would use the word attack very loosely for that, because I was handing over like the 2 boxes of pizza. I'm gonna do this on video. So my hands were out like this. The person is signing on the boxes, and excitedly the dog comes out and goes to jump up on me, lands both paws right on my crotch, and that was probably the worst thing I ever got.
Ugh.
It wasn't
that
an
bad?
attack, but
I was once
hurt.
attacked when I was delivering furniture, and but the thing is it was this small little dog. This dog was probably smaller. Like if I were to cuss my hands or put my fingers together in a giant circle, the dog was not much bigger than that. And this was, of course, it was a yipper, and it's chirping, and it's running up behind me, and it wouldn't leave me alone as I'm trying to move some piece of furniture. I can't remember what it was, but I'm trying to get through the door. I think it was a couch. I'm trying to finagle this couch around the door, and you have to, when you deliver a couch, you got to tilt it on the end, put the ass crack of the couch in the air, because you've got the arms, and they're too big to get around the door. All of the doors in Pennsylvania are smaller in these old houses, so you angle the couch. You're trying to get through the door. The porch is shallow. It sticks out the side of the house. You're trying not to fall. People have their shit all over the place. And then you have a little chirper running around behind you, running into you. You're tripping over this dog as it runs in between your legs, and then all of a sudden it bites you in the heel. But the thing's so small and so puny that the bite didn't even hurt. It was like a tickle. It tickled as it tried to bite my ankle.
At least it didn't hurt.
Yeah, thankfully. So the third weird news story is, say you do get attacked by a dog, I don't know, or you break into someone's house and you get attacked by a dog because you didn't believe that the shadow boxer was real that was boxing in behind the curtain in the house. So you go in, you get bit by a dog, and then you fall over, and thank God you didn't have to make a trip to Hahn Funeral Home, the only family-owned funeral home in Millvale, because you did not die. You survived.
I only had to bury 1 or 2 things.
What's this?
I only had to bury 1 or 2 things after my attack.
Oh, okay.
I didn't die.
You didn't die. Good. Well, this person fell over. The dog hurt him. He didn't die, though, so he got arrested. And he had to go for a drug test. No, that's a bad story. He didn't. That didn't happen. He escaped. Okay, but he decided that line of work was too rough. He did not want to get attacked by dogs, so he decides to apply for a new job. Right, but he's a drug user.
Oh,
he
no.
uses drugs. He uses. What is it? What should he use? Marijuana.
The marijuanas, yes.
Okay, so he uses marijuana, and he knows he's applying to be a clerk at a local retail store. And because smoking marijuana obviously impairs him so much that he would not be able to be a clerk at a retail store, because marijuana is such a drug,
terrible.
such a terrible drug, he has to take this drug test, and he knows he is going to fail. So what does he do? This person buys someone else's urine to get through, right? That way he can pass the drug test. He doesn't have to stop smoking. He buys someone's urine, and he turns it in for the drug test. Well, somebody in Claresville, Ohio, did just that, and they were found guilty as charged for having marijuana or having a drug in their system, because the urine that he purchased was tainted, and whoever pissed in that cup for that person to utilize was on a drug themselves. So, didn't work out. It says an Ohio woman, in this case it was a woman, might want to ask some questions if she tries to borrow someone's urine again to pass a drug test. WTOV-TV reports 24-year-old Kiana Wallace was sentenced to 18 months in prison Monday in eastern Ohio's Belmont County after submitting a borrowed urine sample that tested positive for drugs. Wallace pleaded guilty earlier this month to attempted tampering with evidence. So that is your weird news. I thought that last one was the best one.
That's so upsetting. Just Just quit for a month, man. It's not that bad.
People are crazy. They can't stop. Look at all of these NFL players where they're at risk of losing their careers. And actually, it's become a huge bargaining chip for the NFL to get whatever they want in contract negotiations because players can't stop smoking. Now, in their defense, in that case, those people a lot of times are really in a lot of pain. So, and that helps them deal with the pain, the marijuana. So
I'd much rather them go to their doctor and smoke a fat blunt after a game than get loaded up on painkillers.
Yeah.
I think the net good there is way higher, and the NFL's in the wrong.
I
would
agree.
judge them guilty.
Yes. So, what are your thoughts on the Stage at Karma shakeup? Especially after talking to John Rinaldo, hopefully that audio came through. I know there were some issues. I'm feeling more comfortable because I was comfortable with the job that John could do, but I wasn't sure if the venue was maybe looking to move away from local. But it seems that they are not. They are just bringing John in because he's a professional and he knows what he is doing. So that was great to hear and talk to him. So I'm going to hear your thoughts at River Talk PGH or on the Facebook live chat, or you can call the show at 412-4072-PGH, 412-407-2744, and you can also text us at that number as well, and we can read your comments here on the show. Do we have any comments related to the Stage at Karma, Zach, that I can refer
Stage
to?
at Karma? No,
Yes.
no, none currently.
None
that I
from
can
the
see.
Stage at Karma. Okay. So if you have any comments, if you are feeling outraged or concerned, you can please send us a message and we will address those concerns here on air. It is now time for everyone's favorite news segment, the judging segment, right here on the River's Edge, where I, Brian Crawford, will judge different topics that usually Michael Cohen gives me, but he is off today, so we will have different topics that you guys have given me on Facebook, different Facebook judging topics.
Guilty. You of going to Facebook looking for intellectual anything.
Well, I have some interesting topics, actually. Some people have brought up some good topics. Nikki Bacon wants me to judge women's pants for having no real pockets.
Guilty.
So it is true that women do not have, if you look at a lot of women's pants, they have very shallow pockets. And I know I personally couldn't deal with that because I shove so much crap in my pockets. It's a good thing that I don't wear cargo pants because my pants would be weighed down. It would chew through my belt because of the amount of crap that I put in my pockets. Pockets for men are kind of like the purse is for women. It's where you store all of your shit. And in the wintertime, I wear this giant coat, this pea coat, and it has 1 million pockets in it. And it's like a giant walking medicine cabinet. I have so many drugs and different things in my coat that I can access at all times. And then when winter ends, I am completely lost because I've basically lost the man purse, which is my giant coat. So I personally could not deal with shallow pockets. But women, a lot of women have purses. Not all women do, but a lot of women do have purses, and I think that's why they don't have the big pockets. But in my question, I want to know is, why have pockets at all then? If the pocket is so shallow that you can't put anything in it, do you really need a pocket at all? So I'm going to actually judge guilty that it's a bad idea. Just get rid of the pockets. If the pockets aren't usable, why have them? So that's topic one. Let's see. We also have from Chandra, she posts, that was from Nikki, by the way. Chandra posts on Facebook, she wants me to judge room sprays in the bathroom. That's sprays that they use to try to change the odor of the bathroom. She claims that it doesn't change the odor. It doesn't get rid of the poo smell. What it does is it just creates a poopy, flowery smell. And I would agree. I'm going to judge guilty. It's a terrible idea to have a sprayer in a bathroom. Not only does it ruin flowers for many people because now they will associate flowers with poop, and then they're going to be disgusted by flowers, but it's also horrible for people like me. If you remember last week, I talked about Earth Day and how it's a day that people like Zach Fell try to attack allergy sufferers and create a holiday celebrating the earth that people like me cannot enjoy. Well, this makes it difficult for me to go to the bathroom because I go in there, the odors, they creep down, they go into your nose, down your throat, all of that. And then all of a sudden, if you're like me, you can't breathe, you start getting a headache, you get nauseous. One time when I worked at Kohl's, I would have to walk through, not Kohl's, Sears, I would have to walk through the jewelry department. And outside of the jewelry department on the other side was the perfume aisle. And I had this weird allergy to the perfume at times where I felt like I was walking on hot coals. It was bizarre. I know it's the weirdest allergy in the world, right? But my feet would be on fire as I was trying to walk through the perfume section. I started getting nauseous. Sometimes you start getting faint. You almost feel like you're going to pass out, all because of perfumes. I personally would like to outlaw perfume and cologne and all artificial scents, artificial candles from public places, because it is really like a chemical. It's like a first world nation's chemical weapon. It's not gonna kill you. Most people, it's not gonna kill them like horrible chemical weapons that are deadly in the Middle East. But it is kind of like a, I don't know, like it's not that bacteria that will eat your skin from the outside, but it's kind of like poison ivy. It's a much lesser disease or attack on the body. Perfumes could do some really, really funky shit to you if you're allergic. So I'm going to say that that's a bad thing. Let's see. Why do people always call you in the shitter? I don't have any opinions on that because I have my phone on mute at all times. Actually, the other day, though, oh my gosh, I have the smartwatch. I took it off because I got so sick of it just dinging all the time. But I had the smartwatch on my desk. It was on the charger. I'm sleeping. This was right before... Was this before the fundraiser that I missed because I was so tired? Yes, it was. I missed the fundraiser because I'm there in bed trying to sleep, and my phone is on silent at all times. And the watch has always been on silent, but somehow someone decided to call me, and from across the room, the watch is going ring, 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 as loud as can be, louder than the phone at full volume. I could put the phone on a full volume and hear this watch across the room. This Bluetooth watch is just ringing, and it shook me into consciousness. And then at that point, I go over, I cancel the call from the phone. I don't even know how this happened. And I didn't know how to change the volume on the watch, and they kept calling over and over again, and I kept waking up. And then I got insomnia, and I'm sitting there in the bed for hours, staring at the ceiling, wondering why in the hell my watch would start ringing at me. Who in the hell decided that you should be able to talk through the watch anyways? I thought maybe it would be cool, but you know what? It's just obnoxious. So then I finally figured out how to turn the volume down on the watch, and hopefully I'll never hear a call again. I don't like to talk on the phone. I've actually deleted the calling app from the home screen on the phone because I don't want to take any phone calls. Do you like taking any phone calls? Do you really actually use this device to make phone calls anymore? I know I don't.
Oh, I hate it. Don't call me.
Yeah, don't call me. In fact, I went to such extreme lengths. I was researching online if there was a way to create an automated calling system for my phone. You know what I mean. When you call for your student loans or for the bank, and they say if you want to talk to this department, press 1. If you want to talk to this department, you press 2. If you have this issue, call 3. If you have that issue, call 4. But you know the ones that don't have the operator option, and you keep clicking 0? Because usually when you get those calls, and you get that answering machine, that computer that's talking to you, you can just keep clicking the 0 button on your phone, and eventually you'll get to a real person. That's the trick. If you're ever in calling hell, just keep clicking 0, and the machine will start stuttering. But eventually, it'll get you to a human being. But there are a few that are impenetrable, and there's no way to get to an actual operator. I was trying to create that for my phone just to aggravate people into submission, so that way they would never call again. There was one app I found, which I'm actually looking at possibly getting, where it'll automatically cancel the call, send people directly to voicemail, and shoot them a text message with a notice. And they say that you're supposed to put down something like, I'm in a meeting. Well, I wouldn't go that route. What I would do is I would just say, email Brian Crawford at my email address, and I would text that out, so that way people would get the message that they're not supposed to call me. Because I hate when you're on the phone. And the thing is you're trapped. So I was talking to John Rinaldo earlier on the program, and that was fine because my hands are free. I've got the headphones on, the microphone in front of me. I could deal with that. But when you have the cell phone attached to your head, oh my gosh, it's nonstop, and you can't get away. Your mind is like a fossil. It's as if your mind has been put under the earth and compressed for 1,000 years. That's kind of what your mind is going through when you're on a phone call. There's nothing you could do. You're stuck in time. And then the anxiety starts coming in. Within 30 seconds, your heart starts beating, and all you can think about is getting off of the phone. My poor mother would call me when I was in college, and within 30 seconds, immediately my mind was just racing, and I kept thinking to myself, I gotta get off the phone. I gotta get off the phone. I can't stay on this phone anymore. I have to get off the phone. I gotta go. Mom, I'm sorry. Something came up. Somebody's here at the house. I gotta go. Beep, gone. Could not deal with it. My poor mother. I tell my friends all the time, if you make a decision to move out of the Pittsburgh area and you do not text, email, or have some sort of messenger system like Facebook, and I know they're reading the messages, but you know what? I would rather trade my privacy to not have to talk to someone on the phone. But I basically tell them, look, if you're not in with the messaging system, we will never talk again. That is the last communication that we will have, because I will not sit there and have a 20-minute conversation on the phone. I'll actually sit there and look at my phone, and I'll see someone ringing me. They'll be ringing in. I'll see it come across on the phone, and I know that they're a talker, right? So I'll look at the phone, and I'll wait until the phone stops ringing. Because people know when you cancel the phone, when someone clicks the end call button and the call isn't as long as it should be, and then somebody goes, aha, they hung up on me. So if you sit there and you wait, and this is a pro tip here, you sit there and you wait, you look at the phone, you wait until it stops ringing when you know it's somebody who will keep you on that phone for 20 minutes with idle chit chat. It's like a cat scratching a blackboard. It's horrible. It's excruciating. It's nauseating. It's a horrible experience, and then you're trapped. You're at that person's complete mercy. So you wait until it ends calling, and then you text them. A lot of times your phone is an option where you can just say, text person back. So you click the text person back option on the phone, and then you tell them, oh, I'm so sorry, I just missed your call. I'm real busy right now, but what did you need? So that way you can kind of pretend like you wanted to talk to them, but you just couldn't. You're just so busy. So please just send me a text message, and then we can go from there. Okay, Josh Dresbling, he has asked why radio stations insist on being based on one format. That's what he wants me to judge radio stations, and we had some conversations on Facebook about what he meant for him to elaborate, and basically he talked about all of the radio stations kind of being similar with different rock, or just sticking to one genre of music, and just not having a lot of diversity. And I'm going to come down with a guilty verdict on the radio station. That's why here at the River's Edge we have a wide variety of music, all local original music, and you can only hear the same song twice, just twice, in a 24-hour period. That's right, at riversedgepgh.com, where you can catch us on your smart speaker by asking your Alexa to play the River's Edge station on TuneIn. And there were a few other interesting topics. Josh Tarquinio, who we've had on this show before, he brought up a good topic. He said, Michelle Wolf's Correspondence Dinner speech, what is my reaction to that? I thought it was inappropriate, to be honest. I don't disagree with her on a lot of her topics, but is that really the right venue for that? She's a comedian. She's got a stage every day. I thought it was kind of, we are talking about an administration that excels in bad taste, but I thought that was bad taste on her behalf. And just because the Trump administration relishes in bad taste, that doesn't mean that we have to stoop to their level. So I'm going to charge her guilty, and I'm just going to charge her to start another show, get a stage somewhere else, and talk about all of that. And one other interesting topic. I just got another one too here on Facebook that I did not see. That's actually a really big topic. But the first one, there's two. One of them is bandwagon sports fans Sam Berman of the Knox Boys, he wanted me to judge bandwagon sports fans. I'm gonna come down with a not guilty on that one, because if a team is good and they're bringing in new fans, yeah, they may be bandwagoners to start, but they could become long-term fans. And do you really want a sports franchise that has a dwindling fan base, or do you want to add new fans and bring them into the mix? Now, a counter judgment. Matt Geica just wrote a fantastic article that was for Pirates Prospects, and you can hear Matt every Friday morning here at riversedgepgh.com, but he wrote a great piece for Pirates Prospects, and it was about a guy who wore a shirt that was criticizing Bob Nutting at the baseball park at PNC Park, and it says spend nutting, win nutting, for Bob Nutting's name. And the staffers from PNC Park removed this guy from the building for wearing a shirt that says spend nutting, win nutting. That guy's not even a bandwagoner. That guy's a hardcore fan. If he's willing, now he may not like the owner, but if he's willing to still fork over cash for the Pirates despite everything we've had to endure, don't send that guy out of the park. That's one of your better fans, whether he likes the owners or not. And this one just came in. This is from Karen, who asks me to judge toilet paper rolls over or under. And she says she knows what the right way is. I'm interested to know what you think the right way is, Karen. And I'll tell you right now if you're right or wrong. I don't know
what the patent reads.
I've seen that. I don't know if that's true or not. But I will say that over is the right way. And people who put their toilet paper rolls under, guilty, and I'm going to send them to bathroom jail. You know me, I'm big on fines and sentences, because when you have the toilet paper under, especially in a public setting, it's in that plasticky contraption, and you have to like fish your hands underneath the plastic, and then it gets scraped by the jagged edges that's used to rip the toilet paper off. You know what I mean? It's an uncomfortable situation, and you can't find the toilet paper. So if you have it over, you can easily see where the toilet paper comes down from, and it's a much more pleasurable experience. But really, in the end, what we need to do in this country is move away from toilet papers, because it's bad for paper towel, whatever it is, toilet paper, yeah. We got to roll away from toilet paper. It's bad for the environment. It kills trees. We need to move into bidets, where you have the toilet that will squirt your ass and clean it that way. That's the way to go. We used to have ass wipes here in the studio. We should bring those back. I've got ass wipes at the house, and oh my God.
Wait, we do?
Yeah, we have ass wipes. Right next to, if you look to the left there of our house, where our bathroom is, there's a little cupboard, and it has a drawer that opens, and in there is a selection of ass wipes.
Things I didn't know.
But if you use ass wipes, always put the ass wipes in the trash can. Don't flush them down the toilet. They say that they're flushable, but I have it on good authority from people I know in the business that say that is the one way to start a clog, is by flushing the ass wipes down the toilet. And I can't imagine that's too great for the water system either. Because the ass wipes, if you get the good ones, they've got that medicated moisturization thing going on, that like sanitized, moist wipe. Oh, it's so great. It's a great experience, and it's definitely a good way to clean that crack. It's Sunday. I'm Brian Crawford. This is it's Monday morning if you're listening to us at 10 a.m. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. Thank you so much for your topics. Maybe we'll do this once a month, where we get some of the topics from the fans here on Facebook or on Twitter at RiverTalkPGH, and get your topics to judge what matters to the people. And thank you so much for tuning in. Stage of Karma, it's still going on. It's still going strong, and it still is supporting local music. But I'm excited to see what Kevin Safner has coming up next, a friend of mine as well. So I'm sure he will land into something new and continue to contribute to the local music scene. What do we have on the calendar for this week? It is the 29th. So this Saturday, the 5th, we will be back, and we actually have an artist that is coming into studio. I'll release the name of the artist throughout the week, but we're going to talk about his art. This artist is performing at the Arts Festival on Sedgwick Street during the Millvale Music Festival, so we have that coming up. I also have a show on Thursday, that'll be early, a 6 p.m. show leading into the volunteer meeting with Missy Sorg. We're going to talk about technology and how it is impacting the Millvale Music Festival. That's for the Millvale Music Minute. You can see that on the Millvale Music Festival Facebook page, and of course we'll share it to the River Talk page and the River's Edge page as well. So we've got that, and then coming up soon in the next week, we're going to have a bunch of great interviews being released from different bands that are performing here at the River's Edge stage, which will be at the main stage for the Millvale Music Festival. So we're all in on the music festival coverage. We've got the mics. If you're listening tonight on a Sunday night, we have the Mike Sasson show coming up around 9 p.m. And then if you're listening on Monday morning, you can tune into the Mike Sasson show Tuesday at 9 a.m. And we have local music up next. And of course, we've got local music throughout the night, every day, 24 hours a day at riversedgepgh.com. We've got one song from the Redlines to wrap things up. I'm Brian Crawford. That's Zach Fell behind the board. Thanks to the Redlines for coming into studio. Thanks to Jonathan Rinaldo for calling in and kind of settling the waters as people are panicking over the stage at Karma Crisis. We'll call it the stage at Karma Crisis, which it isn't much of a crisis, but it's social media. And thank you for tuning in and all of your comments, and we will catch you all next Sunday, and of course Saturday morning as well, right here on the River's Edge.
Stay on track.